up YouTube? Capital G here. Today I am going to talk about Tour Guide. It's a card I don't have and I do not plan on investing in. I'm a YouTube viewer just like all of you guys, and I recently saw Asian Persuasion's Lightsworn deck, and there were a couple things in that video that I took exception to, and I just watched it and I just thought, wait, what the hell? First, I don't even like the idea of how Tour Guide is being splashed into so many decks this format. Secondly, I don't like the fact that people are starting to comment, if you don't have Tour Guide, then you just lose this format. I think that's what he said verbatim, honestly. But regardless, I'm going to explain in this video why that is completely untrue. This isn't like Tengu last format, where Tengu's a better card than Tour Guide, clearly. But yeah, I'm going to explain some of my thoughts and opinions on what I've seen recently, Tour Guide being splashed into decks, what decks I think should use it and what decks I don't think should use it in. Just kind of explain why you don't need Tour Guide to win this format. First off, I think Tour Guide is basically a product of a lot of things going right for special summoning right now. First off, Royal Oppression gets banned to add fuel on the fire. It's easier to get through traps because Heavy Storm is back and MST is now unlimited, which makes a card like Solemn Warning a little less effective. So yeah, your Tour Guide summons are going to be a lot easier to get off now than they were last format. So Tour Guide is definitely a product of that. We all know the basic play. You play Tour Guide, search Sangan, make Leviair or Leviathan. We'll just consider this Grinosaurus to be one of those two, and then usually you'll get Maxi or Effect Veiler, most notably, to protect it. You now have a dark and a light in your hand, so you have potential to do like a Blackluster play, so on and so forth. Okay, and that's all good and gravy and everything. The problem is when you start putting Tour Guides in decks like Gadgets or Lightsworn, it does add better opening plays. It also slows down the tempo of your deck if you have a fast tempo deck, and it really can waste your normal summon because it generally will conflict with the deck is trying to do. Lightsworn is probably the best example. Lightsworn is a very, very fast-paced deck, and it's a deck that can get some really inconsistent hands. People are saying that you add Tour Guide to add consistency to those hands. Okay, here's the problem. If you don't open good with Lightsworn and you're playing catch-up, Lightsworn is one of the worst decks to try and play catch-up with. Top decking a Tour Guide, if you have a bad hand, is not going to make the situation any better. You know what I mean? Because even that Sangan search, unless you have something like a Solar Recharge you can't use, that Sangan search isn't really going to do anything. It can get you an Honest or it can get you an Effect Veiler. Chances are you're going to still lose anyway because your hand is atrocious. The problem with it is almost every single turn, especially in this format, much like when Lightsworn was dominating, you're going to want to be milling. Judgment Dragon is at 3 now. Necro Garden is at 2. You still have Wolf. You need to be milling with this deck. So chances are if you're normal summoning, you're going to want to have a Lightsworn. You're going to want to be summoning Lila or Lumina or setting a Raikou so that you can fill your graveyard up to drop JDs, so that you can get Necros in the graveyard, so that you can get free pluses off Wolf. You don't want to be, bringing your tempo to a screeching halt by trying to set up for a Sangan play. Trying to get an Effect Veiler when chances are you'd win without it, and in most situations, I'd probably rather have Honest in general anyway. Even in a deck like Gadgets. Gadgets are all well and fine, and I do understand that Tour Guide does add more plays to the deck. The problem now becomes, okay, so let's say you're playing Gadgets. Now what do you do when somebody opens with, let's say, Thunder King and Light Protection, as most anti-meta decks do, and if Sangan's going to be splashed in, so many decks, chances are the Thunder King or Doom Caliber Knight is going to see a lot more play too, as it's always been a good anti-meta card. Well, your Gadgets can't get over that. Your Tour Guides can't get over that because worst case scenario, they can just, if you get Tour Guide, and Exceed, they can just launch Thunder King. And your Tengus can't get over that. You now have nothing in your deck to get over that. And since you have a 5-card engine and 3 Tour Guides, Sangan, and possibly Blackluster Soldier, your chances are you're not running simple removal and you're now just digging for dark hole. So you're probably just going to get smacked around by a Thunder King. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that Tour Guide is absolutely great. I don't think that it's necessary to win. I think you still have a lot of viable decks out there, like Dragons and E-Heroes and Gladiator Beasts that can function perfectly fine without this deck or without Tour Guides. And I think the card is just being a little overhyped right now. There's no reason for, you to invest $500 in a set of Tour Guides to, just so that you can win. There's still perfectly fine decks out there that don't need Tour Guide. And in case Asian Persuasion just happens to see this video, which I hope he does because I'm going to make a video response, this is just a little challenge for you, my friend. Since you said that you do need Tour Guide to win, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to top a regional this format, and I'm going to do it without Tour Guide. And I'm willing to wager a solemn warning on it, and I hope that you are willing to wager a solemn warning on it too. I mean, as many cards and subscribers and as much money as you have, it should be nothing to you. So, leave a comment, PM me, whatever. Accept the challenge. Don't bitch out. I'm going to top, and I'm not going to use Tour Guide, and just going to prove a point. Thanks for watching, guys.